California, I love California. It has so much going for it, but it just seems like they're really trying to just beat up and smack property owners and business owners, people that are actually trying to supply jobs and tax revenue, which like doesn't make any sense unless it's like, I don't know. It's just strange. The whole thing's weird.
Yeah, it's absolutely, it's one of those things where, you know, fortunately for us, we own different properties. So we have what we do, at least what I do in California, instead of getting kind of too heavy in commercial or buying like duplexes, what I do is I buy single family homes and then I turn them essentially into a triplex. So I look for homes that have like a 4x2, maybe 2,000 square foot with a detached garage and maybe like an addition. So like a kitchen addition, like 500 square feet, right?
Yeah.
And then what I will do is invest the money and this is where the day trading comes in. I invest my money from what I make in day trading into these projects for long-term wealth, right? So we'll convert that junior ADU and then we'll convert that garage that's detached and make it an ADU, maybe a 2x1 there, and then the junior ADU a 1x1. In Southern California, at least where I'm buying, we do a lot of Section 8.
Yeah.
So what people don't know about Section 8, it's government money. You know, it's almost essentially guaranteed checks, and it's very hard for an individual from low income to get Section 8. So the likelihood that they're going to want to miss payment is, you know, you have a reduced risk.
Yeah.
You have a reduced risk. So we use that main unit to pay the mortgage. Let's just say $4,000 easy. And then the 2x1, that's pulling in $2,600 or, you know, sometimes $3,000 if you could make it a 2x2. And then that junior ADU is pulling in roughly $1,200.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a pretty good passive income, you know, and then with that money, you just keep refunneling it and getting more of them.
So what is that? So that deal, is it basically you look for a lot that has like an alleyway in the back that's like an RD 1.5 lot to where it's like you already have the zoning set, you can pull the parking through the back and then you just...
Exactly. Yep. You pull the parking through the back, or sometimes we'll go off to the side. And then some of these junior ADUs, they'll have, yeah, exactly. We'll make a door on the side and then this way separate the two families. Sometimes we'll even, if it's a big enough lot, we'll make it ourselves. So we'll have to, you know, starting from with an additional just ADU with a garage already made, roughly looking at about $150,000 from, you know, insulation to, you know, drywall, kitchen, gas, whatever. If you're starting from the ground up, probably a little north of like 200, 250, right, with the right team. So you got to come out of pocket with that, right? But that's pretty much what we do. So if it has a big enough lot where it doesn't have the detached garage, we'll put it in and put like a nice fence or something, and we look for that alleyway.
Got it. So are you building in LA County?
Ventura County.
Okay.
Yeah, Ventura County. So we primarily look, it's an area called South Oxnard. And that's primarily where I buy our rentals at.
Is that where you live?
That's actually where I grew up. So I grew up in Southside Oxnard. And then I went into it's another city within Ventura County, a very nice little spot. But I go back to Oxnard, and, you know, the way I see it is, you know, I'm making homes and livable places for people who wouldn't otherwise have a place to live.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I view being able to be a landlord, you know?
Yeah. Are you buying more properties now?
I'm starting to, and actually while I'm here in Florida, one of the things that I want to do is kind of look for, you know, maybe like a little vacation spot for ourselves.
Yeah.
But then from an investment standpoint, look for, hey, because California is really expensive. You know, that's the other thing. When I'm buying these homes, they're like $600,000 to $700,000 depending, right? So you figure you put 25% down on a $600,000 house, you're looking at $150K.
Yeah.
Right. So $150K. Then just to say you're making an ADU from scratch, that's $200. You're at $350,000 out of pocket, right? Some people were telling me like, hey, if you look out in Florida or you look out kind of more in the East Coast or even like the Midwest, you could probably find something nice. The only problem for me is I don't really know too many. Well, I have a lot of members from the trading group that are out here, but then you have to get into the property management side of things, right? And getting the right people. I'm on the other side of the country, you know?
Yeah. And like even like in Florida right now, the prices 5 years ago were exactly what you described. Very attractive. Like you could come in here, you could, you know, pick up that's a similar deal that you would buy in California for $600K, you would buy here for $350. But now that $600K deal is $600K here. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, now you have to, you know, virtually manage a construction crew. Yeah. Hopefully they don't screw you. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, like I'm going to hopefully walk this through. Sure. Like in the back end, you might have a better landlord tenant relationship and dynamic
Right.
In the court system in the event that they stop paying or whatever happens. But like the prices I think here are still really, really high.
Yeah. And it's just, I think
especially
it has
like hot markets. Like if you want to be in Wynwood or something like that, you're going to go spend like $1.5 million for a duplex or triplex almost. Like it's nuts.
Yeah, I think it had all to do with that whole COVID stuff, you know, like everyone was home and that's where, you know, people started moving. And I mean, that's how, you know, to be frank, that's how trading really started to blow up too, you know, from a business perspective and then from myself as well. It wasn't just these past 3, I would say like 4, but that's where I really started to make the bulk of my money day trading where 2020, I think it was like just shy of like 1.5 or something like that. Just last year was $7 million trading options. And then this year I'm already north of 2. And, you know, everyone starts getting home, everyone's home. And then trading just has become it was already popular, but now I feel like it's extremely popular, especially with this like new generation of people just wanting to be home and not work in the workforce. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everybody wants a quick way out.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, how can I make money with putting in little effort and just like, you know, work 2 hours a day and make 10K a month or 15K a month. And that's like what everybody wants now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like, you know, trading, it can, you're proving it can be very profitable if you put in the time.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
to really understand what the hell you're doing. Just like real estate, just like in anything.
Yep.
Right? Like what Dominic's doing.
Yeah.
You don't just like hop in and be like, oh no, I know exactly what to do day one.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people put the expectation on that with everything nowadays.
Yeah, it's funny because I bring the analogy of like, if you look at people that are really experts in their craft, like, I mean, look at it like a cardiac surgeon, right?
Yeah.
Like they spent so much time in school and then hours of like residency and like practice. And are you going to trust somebody to operate on your heart that's been doing it for a month?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or do you want like the best of the best, right? And so it takes time. And I think a lot of people, it's that instant gratification these days. That's why, I mean, you know, you look at TikTok or you look at Facebook or you look at, you know, Instagram, right? It's 15-second reels is really what captures. 1.5 minute reels don't capture anything. And really within that 15 seconds, it's the first 5 seconds that are going to grab somebody's attention.
Yep.
And so it's sad, but, you know, I guess it's the way that it's going. So like even with my kids, my son, my oldest, he's 13. I'm teaching him the importance of trading and being able to make his own money.
Yeah.
And understanding where the future is going. So like maybe coding or I'm having him like right now AI is big, right? So hey, dude, just spend time on YouTube, just researching this, just like watch stuff and like try to learn because that's his future.
If you've enjoyed this clip and you'd like to watch the full episode, you can do so on my main YouTube channel by clicking the video here.